Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to part 3, our final part of this adorable little album. Now today we're going to make this look as cute as the inside looks. And if you haven't seen the inside, I'm going to do a quick sneak peek, but I encourage you to go watch part 2 to see how the inside was done. So part 1 was the assembly and the covering of the pages, and then part 2 was when we went in and made our 12 Days of Christmas Prompted Memories pages. I love this so much. We will link the playlist below so that you can see all of those. Let's start with this guy. When I was watching the part 2 edit that we did, I noticed that I didn't love how this edge looked from the top, the raw edge, so I wanted to do this. But before I could show you, I had to practice it to tell you what you needed to do. So see how I'm going to cover this raw edge? It wasn't my favorite, but I think this looks a lot better. So let me show you what I did. So I took a piece of white, and this piece is too long. Let me show you what I mean. It's way too long, like an inch, but I grabbed this out of bin, so it's perfectly fine. And he is 1.25 inches wide. That matters because I'm going to use him with a punch. So you want to make sure you do both strips the same width, okay? So we're going to punch him with the same one we used for our little bottom scallop here. And I better clean that out or I'll have a mess. We're ready to go. All right, we're just going to punch both sides. And it really doesn't matter if they're exact. I just kind of eyeball center this in my punch and just go to town, both sides. Okay, so I got both sides punched. I had a little hiccup down here, but it won't matter. We're going to get rid of that one. Now I'm going to score it, which actually, you probably should have scored it ahead of time, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to score this guy in half. So I'm going to lay him into my scoreboard. And this is really just to give me a help when I go to turn it. So I'm just going to put it here. If you score it ahead of time, you're just going to score it at 5/8, which is where I'm scoring it here anyway. I do recommend scoring it first. Okay, now to fold. I'm going to get this guy folded without damaging my little frilly edges, and then I'm going to crease it down. Now when you put this on, it's not going to fit perfectly. We're going to have to do kind of a haircut, and I'll show you what I mean. We're going to let the roof tell us where to cut after we get this guy placed. So on the part where I don't have it, okay, I'm going to place it down. And what I want to do is let it hang off either side a little bit. See how it's hanging off there and then also down here? I'm just going to trim that. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue inside of here and just trim it as when it's on the roof, like as it's already applied. All right, so place this guy on, just making sure it's hanging over the edge. If you want to line it up in any way, you can. I just want to get that right to the edge. And then I'm just going to take my cutter bees and from underneath, I'm just going to trim where it's not touching, where it's hanging over. So just lining up with the chipboard there and slicing. And then same thing at the top. Now, they don't line up exactly because of the angle. So I just get it really close and make that final snip. And then you just make sure you glue down that edge. And look, it looks pretty good. I don't think anybody's going to judge that. All right, so now let's do it on this end. Look how cute that is. It really cleans up that top, doesn't it? Now, if you wanted to do it here, you could. I'm not worried about it because this is the cardstock and it doesn't have that kind of unfinished edge, so it works just fine. All right, let's do all the fun part. Okay, let me bring the little album back over. Okay, several things planned for this front cover. Let's start stamping and cutting first. Now, I don't have to do a lot of stamping because check this out. I've told you guys this in the past. So I want to use 2 of the little gingerbread people, right? But lucky for me, when I went to pull my stamp set out, I had this little bag of pre-cut items. So at some point in time, I cut these out on my SVG, which is the free file that comes with your stamp sets. And I went ahead and stamped them and had them ready to go. So I don't have to stamp these. And look, we end up with our little gingerbread people. So we're going to work on them. The little girl is already dressed. I'm not going to show you her yet. I'll show you her in a few minutes. But I do want a bow for this wreath, okay? And I found one in my stamp set called Hair Peeking. See that little bow right there? It is literally perfect. So we're going to use that one. So a little scrap of red from my scrap bin. And then we're going to take our ink and stamp it, and then I'm going to fussy cut it out. Now, honestly, you could cut this with the SVG file. It really wouldn't be a big deal, but I kind of don't need the extra space around the bow. I just need the bow itself, so this is helpful. And I challenge you, go through your stamp sets. You'll be surprised what you can find that you can use on these kind of projects. Like, this is an Easter stamp, and we found a bow. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you need a Christmas light, if you want to use Christmas lights on your little album, look through your stamp sets. A lot of times, folks like me, stamp manufacturers, will put, or stamp designers, will put little bitty things here and there for you guys to grab, just to kind of fill the space on the stamp set. And those little ones work perfect for stuff like this. Now I'm going to take my Memento pen and I'm going to use the brush tip here and run around the outside of this to make it look like it is perfectly cut, even though we know it was not. If you saw me cut it, it was not perfectly cut. But we're going to do this number and make it look cute. Okay. Now this, look how perfect it is. Look at this. Boom. Is the perfect bow size for that little wreath. I love it. We're already dressing up a little bit. All right, let's talk about this. Remember we had this guy we cut out in the first video because I knew I wanted to use him. He's going to live right here. So what I want to do is I want to measure him and see what I want to do. I think I'm going to take these little nibs off of this end. I'm just going to snip these off because I think this will help my little fence to land better. Yep. And I think I'm going to go to that. Oh, well, it would help if I looked at it. Okay, so I'm going to go right here and cut just to this side of these little guys. Perfect. So there's this side of the fence. Look how cute. And now I want to do the same thing on this side. All right, I'll show you. When I glued this down, I glued my foam tape too far out, so I had to lift it up. Not a big deal. I'll glue it back down, and now we've got our little fence pieces. But I don't want to glue these down yet because I want to put some Christmas trees behind, so let me show you that. I went through bin and found this scrap of green. I'm just going to use this because I like this color with this, and I'm going to use our Christmas tree punch. You guys have been asking about this guy. It is on its way back in. It actually might be back in before you see this video because I think we're expecting a delivery today, but I'm not 100% sure, but it's coming super soon. So we get 2 of these little Christmas trees, and I'm going to show you my plan. Now we're going to kind of cheat it because they're a little bit small. So I'm thinking I'm not going to put them way down. I think I'm just going to kind of come like this with them. And they're just going to have a faux long trunk. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's really going to be looking behind there. And we may even put some stickers on the fence, like little signs. Who knows? We'll keep decorating. But I want those to look like that. And then I want to show you one more thing. And then what I'm going to do is just start decorating and let you watch me as I go. Look at these. These little buttons we got in recently. You guys bought them out, but there are more we checked. There's some on back order, so they're coming. I'm going to use these little buttons to decorate all around. So when you see me using something that looks like that, that's what we're using. So let me go ahead and stick down what I know I'm going to be using, and we'll come right back together when I do anything that I need to tell you about. So here's something I'm going to do. I'm going to add some little glitter stars to the top of our tree. I'm going to use this little punch and just some glitter cardstock. This was also in my scrap bin. This is a great place to find stuff in your scrap bin. When you're making these little things like that, then put that right back in and you can use it next time. So here we are. These things are stuck down. That is stuck down. Now let me show you. Is this where I'm at? I'm not really sure where to go, but I think that's what we're going to do. I have this little guy, and I want to show you what I did. Look at his little sister. I used the Snow Rider on her, not the Snow Rider. This is where it gets confusing. When you guys are asking us, maybe this will help. This is the snow marker. This is the Snow Rider. I'm using both in this project, but it gets confusing even for me. So the snow marker is what I'm going to use. And I want to show you, you're going to need your heat tool, okay? And you want to preheat this guy because you want to touch this Snow Rider, puff this Snow Rider up and move away. That's what happens when you heat it. It puffs up. So do not linger. If you linger, you will burn the white or turn it yellow, and you don't want to do that, okay? So I'm going to preheat this really quick. Okay, here we go. What I'm going to do on this little guy is I'm going to bounce. I'm not drawing. I'm bouncing this ink on. And the more liquid you have, the puffier this gets, okay? Oh, that didn't do. I want his little drop down there. All right, I'm going to do his little feet. And you want to go ahead and get everywhere you want this guy to be. Go ahead and get this marker on because you don't really want to come back and heat this twice. You got to trust me. This guy, it's delicate. So heat it and forget it. Heat it and move on. So let me get his little foot done here. And then we're going to puff him. I also want to tell you this. In the past, I've had to lift him off my mat because I had a regular cutting mat. But my glass mat, he can stay right here and I can heat him right there. So let me show you. I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to hold him down in the center like this. Now seriously, heat it and move. I'm tempted to run back over him, but I'm not. He's a little bit warm, so I'm going to lift him like this. And I want you to see, okay, and look. See how much dimension you get out of that? Isn't that precious? But really, you have to heat it and go. I want to show you what I mean. On this little girl, I decided last minute that I wanted to do her skirt. So when I did that, you see what happened to her little foot? It kind of scorched. Now, if you want toasted marshmallows, perfect, right? But I don't really want her toasted, but she's going to be. But only we will know that. No one will know, right? No one outside of the people watching this video will know she has toasted feet. Okay, so here we go. So now that I got the little gingerbread people all snowed up, let's do some snow here. I'm going to do Snow Rider at the end of when I'm done with everything, but I want to do some of this on the Christmas trees because I think this would be cute to kind of give the feel of popcorn. So see what I'm going to do? I'm just going to string it around the tree like this. And it's okay if you have bigger blobs and smaller blobs. It's perfectly fine. It'll just be smaller and larger pieces of popcorn. I'm even going to go back because I don't want them all the same and add to some to make them a little bigger. Here and there. And I don't necessarily want them to feel, to be perfectly circular because I kind of want them to feel like popcorn. So see how I'm just kind of adding a little bit? I just think that'll be cute. And I'm going to do it over here as well. And then I'm going to heat it up just the same. So it looks like little pieces of popcorn. I did better on this one than I did on this one. So see how you want to be heavier with the liquid when you want it to pop really high. And this one to me looks better, but it's no big deal. We're going to keep decorating and keep going. I think I will take my memento pen and use the fine tip part and like string this, like go between and make little strings. So there's our little popcorn strings. Okay, I think this is gonna be fun. Let's put some of the buttons on and let me show you what my plan is. I want the buttons to kind of look like candy, so it kind of gives the feel of that really, and I want to do like a little border around the top of the door. So I laid them out earlier, so I know that this works, so we're just gonna go ahead and put them on. What I wanna do is I wanna pick my colors for the top, and this green and the red really pops, and I'm gonna put these at the top, not starting one in the center. The way I want it to lay out is I want it to kind of end here and here. So I'm going to just lay these out real quick and decide where they're going to go and then put little dots of glue down where I have them. So a little dot here. I'm going to use my quick stick to help me because I don't want to be fighting that. So place that little guy into the glue. Move this one out, do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of go around the arch of this door like this. I think that's cute. I think it kind of looks like Christmas lights or like candies. But I think that's cute. I also want to put these in the corners of the windows, kind of like it's little studs holding the windows on. So I'm just going to go around and add 4 dots of glue to the 4 corners and then add 4 of the buttons. Oops, I got glue where I didn't want it. Let's get that off of there. Okay, let's move all of this out of the side now, or off the to the side. Let's bring our little gingerbread people over. I'm gonna go ahead and put them down. I think I'm gonna pop them up for some dimension. I think that'll be cute. So let's go ahead and put some foam on the back of them and pop them up in place. I think they are so cute. They are the perfect size for this little album. I really like how that worked out. Okay, now what I want to do is on the little trees, I want to add some ornaments. And I looked through our vintage drops, our vintage Nouveau drops, and I want to show you, I think these colors work really well. I'm going to show you like this. They won't be perfect, but you see how that red's pretty good because we have 2 tones of red, and then that pink is going to work as well. This green is absolutely perfect, or not green, this is blue. I know, it's blue. It's absolutely perfect. So we're going to dot some ornaments on the tree. I think that'll be cute. I thought about doing a little strand of lights here with the same dots, but instead I'm gonna make this a snowy fence. I think that'll be cute. All right, let's get to dotting. Okay, so there's our little ornaments on the tree. You can add more or less. I might need one right there, but what color? Let's do red. I'm gonna add one more, and then we gotta let those dry. Don't do this part until you're through with all your sticking, and I'm through. I'm fixing to start snowing this guy up and let this sit aside to dry. And then I'm gonna decorate the little roof that's gonna go on top just a little bit. Yeah, that needed that. All right, let's do snow. Now what I'm gonna do, I do not live in a snowy climate, so I'm gonna put snow where I think snow would be, and it's probably not gonna be right, but just know I'm doing the best I can. I get snow about once every 5 years around here, and it ain't much, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. All right, you guys, as a good Alabama girl, that's where I think snow would be, but I could be wrong. Y'all may be saying, wow, you missed a lot of places snow lives, but that's where we're stopping with the snow. Now what we need to do is decorate our little roof, and I'm gonna move this off to start drying, and we'll get to the roof. All right, let's go back to the buttons. I think this needs buttons across here, so I'm gonna add those. And you guessed it, we need snow. I'm not gonna put snow on the back of this because I'm not decorating the back. I don't feel like that will get very much use. I probably will do snow here and then also here just for it to match a little bit. But I'm just gonna run up here and just kinda snowy it up. Even though I feel like that white looks like snow, honestly, it lets me use less writer. I think you need that little, it's almost like frosting. I think you need that little bit of texture up there, but this is how I'm gonna do it. Then I'm gonna come down here and put snow like I did down on the buttons, and then also on this little edge where it meets. Okay, so as you can see, we have snow on the little section here, and then I put it at the top here just to kind of make it all match. I'm going to bring, look what I did. I have snow everywhere, y'all, but that's okay. It can be wherever. I even have it on my shoulder. How did I get snow on my shoulder? But it's there. All right, so I'm gonna bring our little album back over. And what I'm gonna do is let you see what it's gonna look like. I'm not gonna lay it down because I've got, look, I just put my finger, look, everywhere. It's everywhere. Let it dry. Don't try to be doing this on camera. Pay attention when you're doing it. But this is what it's gonna look like. I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. I think that's super cute. Look at that. Won't that be cute on the shelf? And then at Christmas, then you can open up and see your little 12 days of Christmas. There you go, guys. We finished it. I cannot lay it down. I'm gonna stand it up and let it keep drying. I really like the finish on the top too. I think it looks really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So you know the deal. If you're making one, I want to see it. So head to our customer gallery at MaymayMadeIt.com and show us your little gingerbread house. Or you also can go to our Facebook group, which we recently reopened, which is called Maymay Made It, and so did I. And you can share pictures there as well. Thanks so much for being a part of this journey. And don't forget to subscribe. We have a huge goal this year of 400,000. We might make it. I don't know. If you click that red button, we'll be one step closer. Thanks so much. And until next time, bye now.